Alright, here are the quiz corrections for quiz number 6. This is on sections 4.1, 4.2, 4.4. This was taken before you guys went on Thanksgiving break, November 18th, 2016. It was out of 28 points. The only other section that's not on here that will be on your test is 4.6, was essentially word problems. Number 1 says solve the proportion. So we solve proportions by doing cross multiplying. A times 18 gives you 18a. And 6 times 27 gives you, here I decided not to multiply, and you can. I broke down 27 to be 9 and 3. I did 18 is 6 and 3, and then I can just cancel my 6's here. Cancel my 3's. And you'll recognize that A is equal to 9. Now, you can also check your answer by taking 9 and putting it back in here, and if you just reduce the fractions, they're both equal to 2/3. Okay? Question number 2. Write a similarity statement for the triangles. Well, you're missing some angles. They gave you 60 and 53, which means I can use triangle sum theorem. 53 plus 60 plus this blank one equals 180. Add those together, you'll get 113. Subtract 113 from both sides. This one is 67. On the smaller triangle, they give you 60 and 67. And if you did your triangle sum theorem there, you'll get this one to be 53. So although you have 3 congruent angles, you only need 2 of them. Now, why would you want to write all 3 angles? Well, it helps us write the letters in order. So 53. So D corresponds to G, so you can do something like D, C, E, G, F, H. So basically what I'm looking for here is to match up the letters with the angle measures. 60 and 60 degrees, that means C and F. D and G, and E and H are both 67 degrees. That would be choice C. Fill in the blank, 2 points each. In the diagram, triangle ABC is similar to triangle RQP. So what this means is this is my similarity statement. This is the most powerful thing because it doesn't matter which direction the triangles are, I can just look at the similarity statement. Complete the statement with the corresponding congruent part. Angle Q. Well, it's kind of difficult to determine, but if you flip this around, I know that A corresponds with R, B corresponds with Q, C corresponds with P. So again, the pictures are deceiving. Q, R, and then C and P. So now that you've redrawn the picture and you're matching up bottom left to bottom left, Q corresponds to B. Over here, my shortcut, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, second letter to second letter. Q and B correspond. Angle C is the third letter that corresponds to P. Right side of the triangle, right side of the triangle. And AB, you didn't have to have, it is a line segment, you weren't penalized for that, but order of these letters do matter. A lot of students wrote QR. AB is the first and second letter, that would have to be RQ. Question number 4, multiple choice. Again, they have the similarity statement right there. Triangle DEF is similar to triangle MNP, which statement may be false. Okay. Now, one thing you can do is you can actually just draw a triangle. That helps you if you want a visual. DEF, MNP. And now I can go through and check these. E is the second letter, N is the second letter. So this corresponds. I'm trying to find the one that's false or wrong. This one has MN, first, second, so I'm going to write 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. First, second over first, second. That works. NP, second and third letter over second and third letter. This one works as well. P here, they're telling me it corresponds to D. That's incorrect because D is the first letter and P is the third letter. So B is the false one. I'll just double check here. D here, MN, You can use the picture as well if you drew it correctly. That's the left side to the left side, PM, right to left, right to left. Questions numbers 5 and 6, I made extra credit. Question number 5, scaling triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. Which statement is false? The answer is number 4, because it tells you essentially ABC is similar to DEF. Well, if it's ABC, this should be DEF. The order is wrong here. Again, we're looking for the false one. The reason why I made this one extra credit is because I didn't teach you guys about this colon here. The colon just basically means it's a fraction line, AB over BC. That's the only reason why I made it extra credit. This one should say question number 6, not 56. Reasoning. Use the diagram, decide which proportions are true, select all that apply. Here you guys can see that I actually just redrew the triangles. There's 3 triangles, 1, 2, and then the big one. Okay. Now, notice the key part to redrawing your triangles is they're all in the same direction. Okay. The easiest reference point is your right angle. Remember, you can extend this right angle right here. So that's a right angle for both of the triangles. And the correct answers are both A and D, would have been acceptable. So if you got A correct, you got 1 point. And if you selected D, you've also gotten another point. Here it says select all that apply, which means you have to pay attention. I'm not telling you when you have to read it and follow directions. When does it tell you one answer? Or if there's many answers. Okay? The front side was out of 12 points. Let's look on the back side. Determine whether the triangles are similar. So let's go through this very carefully. Determine means yes or no. You got 1 point if you wrote yes or no. If the answer was yes, you got 1 point plus 1 point for trying, so there's 2 points. Okay? Determine whether the triangles are similar. If they are means yes, they're similar, then it tells you write a similarity statement. That's the triangle with 3 letters. Explain is another point. This is your 3 ways to prove 2 triangles similar. AA, SAS, SSS. If I look at this triangle and use triangle sum theorem, you'll notice this one's 35 and 65. Here, you only need how many angles, class? You only need 2. I did see a couple of students write 3 A's here. That would have been incorrect. So yes, triangle TRS and LMN are similar because of angle-angle similarity. And that question's only worth 4 points. Question number 8, you have this problem where you need to separate the 2 triangles. When you separate the 2 triangles, here you have G is the reflexive angle. Right? Because when you separate, this is your small triangle and this is your big triangle. You have G both at the top, which essentially means that they're the same angle, and that's called reflexive. Now they both have 27 degrees here. Well, that just means that they are congruent. So in this triangle, I have angle-angle similarity. Yes, triangle LGH and KGJ are similar because of angle-angle similarity. Now there are some students who either, one, mix the order of those, and that's where you got it wrong here. That was a point taken off. There are some students who didn't write the right letters. You just random different letters, and I just had to mark you wrong because you don't have those letters. Okay? Question number 9. Solve for x, leave your answer as an exact answer, and round it to the nearest tenth. If I take this triangle, I need to separate it and redraw them to 3 separate triangles. Here's triangle number 1. I have the right angle there, so you can always extend that right angle. Across the right angle is a 5. The x is the long leg. Remember, always find the hypotenuse. That's 5, and this one is x. That means there's nothing between L and K. If you do the second triangle over here, there's the right angle. That's k. Across there is 12. The short leg, nk, is x. There is nothing for the long leg. Remember, this is not 13. 13 goes all the way from J all the way till L. If I drew the third triangle, now the reason why I have to draw the third triangle, this is important, is because look, x to nothing. You can't compare these two sides. You can compare the hypotenuse. You can't compare the long legs. You can't compare the short legs, which means I need to draw the third triangle. The third triangle is the largest triangle. So across your hypotenuse is 13, short leg 5, and long leg 12. Now you can solve this problem in actually two ways. You can do triangles 2 and 3, because you can do 12 to 13, x to 5, which I did here. Or you can do triangles 1 and 3, long leg to long leg, hypotenuse to hypotenuse. Now it doesn't matter which one you do, because when you cross multiply, you'll get the same product. You'll get 60 equals 13x. Now a lot of students rushed it right here, and I actually saw at least 5 to 10 students make this mistake. When you're getting rid of this 13, the property here is multiplication, so you do the opposite, which is division. On this right side, 13 divided by 13 is 1, so you're just left with an x. And over here, you're left with 16 over 13. So x equals 16 over 13 is actually my exact answer. It's an exact answer because there's no decimal. An exact answer has no decimal. It can have a radical, it can be a fraction, but there's no decimal. Rounding to the nearest tenth, I'm just going to take my calculator now. We'll just type in 60 divided by 13. And I get this long number. It says round to the nearest tenth. This is the tenth, which means I have to look at the hundredths. This number is not 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, so I'm not going to round up. I'm going to keep this number the same. The answer is 4.6. So you got 2 points for drawing the correct triangles. You got 3 points if you missed one of these, and you got 4 points for doing them all. Last one, just a reminder, you may or may not see a Ken to boost your grades, but you will see them on your future quizzes. I'll explain it again. Kind of surprised how many students are missing these. Fill in the blank squares so that each row and each column contain all the digits 1, 2, and 3. Numbers in the cages. Cages are the darkened ones. As long as they are not in the same row or column. So I need the numbers 1 to 3, 1 to 3, 1 to 3. And notice how there's no repeating numbers in each row or column. They tell you a math operation. This puzzle is plus and minus. This one is the freebie because there's no plus or minus there. I write a 3 automatic, which means I'm missing the numbers 1 and 2. I need two numbers. When I subtract them, their answer is 1. This is not negative 1. Well, I can put 1 and 2 there. Well, order does matter. If I come over here, I need two numbers that add up to 5. Well, there's only two numbers. That would be 3 and 2. Well, if this is a 3 and 2, that means this column has a 1. That means a 1 has to be here, and the 2 must be there. Two numbers that subtract to be 2, that'll be 3 and 1. And two numbers that subtract to be 1, that'll be 2 and 1. Again, notice how there's no repeating numbers. And here's a quick shortcut if you haven't watched the videos previously. This is what one student recognized. Only in a 3 by 3. One of the diagonals is a repeating number. The other diagonal has the numbers 1, 2, and 3. That question is either 4 points you got it right, 1 point you got it wrong. That side was worth 16 points. Remember, 1/3 of the questions on tomorrow's test will be from this quiz. Have a great day.